the main reason they got it done. They were a little conservative in the third quarter, but once again, when they needed it, they made every single play. Thaddeus Moss's catch, the picture of the still shot on the pylon cam, just put that up in the basement of Hodges down the row pictures. Let's just
That'll
go ahead
be in
and
the
add
highlight
that
reel,
up.
too.
Yep. Let's go ahead and add that in there. But the season didn't end Saturday. Like Joe Burrow said, this wasn't our Super Bowl. We've got bigger things to worry about, and we've got bigger goals, which brings us to this week. The Magnolia Bowl is what they call it. There's a trophy now, and the trophy's ugly.
It's not an attractive trophy.
No, it's not.
As obnoxious as the Golden Boot is, I think it's cooler than this one. But there is a trophy. LSU versus Ole Miss. This series dates back to 1894. December 3rd was the first meeting. I don't think any of us were alive. Nick Saban was probably still coaching Alabama then.
Yeah.
He's probably still be coaching them in 2094. Ole Miss defeated LSU 26-6. Since then, series hadn't been close. LSU leads series 62-40-4. LSU's won 3 straight in the series. Last year, they defeated Ole Miss in Baton Rouge 45-16. We talked about Coach O. This was a career-defining win. This also, to me, sealed up Coach of the Year for him as National Coach of the Year.
Absolutely.
If it didn't already. He was the Ole Miss head coach from 2005 to 2007. He is he's very knowledgeable of this rivalry, growing up in Louisiana and then coaching at Ole Miss. This game means a lot to him, too.
Oh, absolutely.
He has a total of 3 SEC wins in 3 seasons at Ole Miss. He has talked about this as being a learning experience. Courtney, from the time he was at Ole Miss, I don't know if you remember when he was there, it was a joke, pretty much.
Well, I remember seeing him in The Blind Side.
Yeah, he was in The Blind Side. He's called this a learning experience. To seeing where he was then, to the loss to Troy, to where we are now, what can you say about Coach O?
It's storybook.
Yeah.
It sounds like a legend. It sounds like a movie. The journey that this coach has gone on in front of all of us, and all of us watching the journey he's taken. And it's been so insane to watch him go from a sad Ole Miss team to that Troy loss to we're the number 1 team in the nation. So this is, I don't want to say it's a little bit of an FU to Ole Miss when we come in this weekend, but it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, he downplays this game a lot. He has since he's been here. Keith, I think it means a little bit. What do you think? You think it means a little bit to him?
Just a little bit.
You had only 3 SEC wins in 3 years at Ole Miss, and then everyone thought he was a failure of a coach. And when he was hired, everyone was questioning the hire when he came here. But you see where we are now. So,
He has called that a learning experience, and look, that's every bit of what it is. To seeing where he was then to the Troy game when we lost, and Brissett's in on the first play and he fumbles, and he says, "I didn't know Brissett was in the game." But then they ask, "Well, who's in charge of the personnel decisions?" "I am." "So you didn't know?" There was a back and forth there that's like, this guy's in over his head. Mm-hmm. He wasn't my first choice for this job, but I also knew that LSU wasn't in the state. The program wasn't in the state everybody thought it was in. But since then, there's no doubt that he loves the university and he is the right guy for the job. And to see him to where he is now, everybody but the state of Alabama pretty much is pulling for LSU and Coach O.
Yeah.
It's awesome. They've been the story of the year in college football, and it's only going to get better. So the Ole Miss Rebels, their season isn't going as well as ours.
Oh no!
They're 4-6 on the year. They're 2-4 in the conference. They defeated New Mexico State last week, 41-3.
Congratulations.
Yeah. 606 total yards of offense, 447 rush yards in that game. Offense is averaging 26 points a game, averaging 434 yards per game total. Rush team, like I said, 447 rushing yards. This team's 4th in the nation in rush offense. They only average 187 passing yards, but about 250 yards on the ground. This team has 7 games with over 200 yards rushing. They have 2 games with over 400 yards rushing. So I think we can figure out what they want to do tomorrow. This offense last year had 3 guys that are playing in the NFL right now. Obviously, you see DK Metcalf, AJ Brown. DeMarcus Lodge, I think, is on. He's there, but those 2 guys are playing, and they're playing.
AJ Brown's playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah, they're playing. DK Metcalf is humongous, and he catches the ball from Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So it's good. This totally different offense this year. Keith, just give us a couple guys. Obviously, the quarterback situation is weird.
Yeah, it is.
The quarterback's team highlight rushing. Tell us a little bit about Mr. John here.
Yeah, he's most of the reason why they have more rushing yards per game than passing yards, and he's got 777 rushing yards on the year. Again, that leads the team. passes for 666 yards, 50% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 105 quarterback rating. And then you got behind him Scotty Phillips at running back, 542 yards rushing, and Jerrion Ely, a really good true freshman running back too, who's highly recruited blue chip recruit.
Yeah, they got a guy named Snoop on there too.
Yeah.
Running
I
back
just saw
is
that.
named Snoop. That's pretty tight.
Elijah Moore, wide receiver, he's got by far the most receiving yards,
Yeah.
672 and 4 touchdowns. So he's a guy to look out for. He's dynamic.
Yeah, John Reese Plumley. He also, I think, plays baseball, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
him and Ely do.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we'll have to see those guys in the spring. That's good to know. Yeah, he doesn't throw it. He's thrown 120 passes this year. He's completed 50% of them.
He's got like 4.4 speed, so he's really quick.
Yeah, Matt Corral comes in, quarterback. He'll throw the ball a little bit. He came in last week. He'll come in for about maybe 7, 8 passes. Then they switched to this guy against Alabama, and he ran all over them. They put up, I think, 38 against
38
Bama.
points, yeah.
So, yeah, this offense is nothing like the offense from prior with those 3 big wide receivers. The defense give up around 24 points a game. They give up around almost 400 yards a game. They give up 274 passing yards a game. Okay, guys, 6 different teams have passed for over 300 yards. Most notably, Alabama, who passed for 418 yards and 6 touchdowns. That was Tua was in the fourth quarter trying to get the school record. When you see that, what do you think Joe Burrow is going to do this week?
Eyes light up, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Light
thing
up.
that stuck up. I bolded it, 274 passing yards per game. Like I said, 6 opponents have passed for over 300 yards. Joe Burrow's got to be licking his chops, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like we've been saying all season. I'm going to catch a ball. You're going to
Yeah.
catch a ball. Jamar Chase is going to catch a ball.
I
LSU
mean,
fans
Clyde
in
Edwards-Helaire
stadium.
caught 9 last week. Like, he was the team leader when it's pretty much the other guys had 7, 6, 6. Your eyes have got to light up when you're in the film room watching this.
Mm-hmm.
They give up 122 rush yards. LSU now, they were 19-1 under Orgeron when they rushed for 100 yards or more. We said they had to run the ball last week, and they did. And now they're 20-1. The run defense has been Jekyll and Hyde, like, to a T. In five of their games, they gave up 66 yards or fewer. In the other 5 games, opponents are averaging 182 yards a game against them. So, like, we may throw for 350 yards and run for 60, or we may throw for 350 yards and run for 200.
Yeah.
Like, LSU, in their big games, against Florida, they moved the ball well. Against Alabama last week, I mean, they're still moving the ball. And the same against Auburn. They had 500 yards of offense against Auburn. This is, I think, offensively, you know what Ole Miss wants to do. Defensively, I think you can dictate what you want to do on offense and control the tempo of the game. And LSU's been pretty darn successful the last couple of weeks at running the ball and throwing the ball. They've just pick your poison, and it's not going to be fun. Keys to the game, I think if LSU stops the run, Ole Miss could be in trouble. LSU's they're right at 100 yards a game, stop the run. The pass defense has been a little bit, that you can get yards on this LSU pass defense. I think last week's game, Tua played great, especially being injured. There's no telling how many painkillers and cortisone shots they shot that guy up with. But he threw for 418.
2 of those were like fluke chunk plays.
Yeah, but they had the play where nobody was looking, and then they had the play where Aranda should not have been in man coverage.
Yeah.
But other than that, he had a pretty good game. And there are times where LSU has, you've been able to move the ball through the air.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney, if we stop the run, do you think Ole Miss is going to have the success? Because they don't have the wide receivers that they did last year.
No, this Ole Miss team this year has been a bit of a dumpster fire. It's been sad. There's been nothing coming out of Oxford on the scoreboard or from those fan base. This fan base
they don't even go to the games.
They don't go to the games. This fan base is sad.
Yeah, and I think they come out last week, maybe or the week before, that said they're going to Matt Luke will be back next year. I mean, it's a weird situation because, like, Matt Luke's in a no-win situation here. Like, they were on scholarship. They were on postseason ban or whatever. They ain't going to make postseason. There's not a shot.
Oh, there's no way.
They're not making it this year because they're going to lose tomorrow. But they're just in a weird spot because, like, there's no energy around the program. Matt Luke's, like, the safe hire because, like, they're not, nothing's going to happen in the program as far as, like, discipline or, violations. He's just the safe guy, and he's just, it's weird. It's unfortunate, but, like, eventually you got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But they're in a better position than Arkansas is. I'll say that. So
that's true.
Players to watch. Courtney, is it Joe Burrow this week again? Because, like, I mean, he's going to win the Heisman, so
Might as
Yeah,
well
I
keep it
think
up.
I'm excited to watch Joe Burrow just cruise
yeah.
through the rest of
If
the
he,
season.
we were praying here for good injury, injury-free football. But that's really the only thing stopping him from not going to New York in December and holding the trophy, which is going to be awesome. So he's your player to watch on offense.
Yes.
Okay, good. Defensively, give me a player to watch.
24.
Derek Stingley. He might have a bored day, especially if Ole Miss runs the ball,
Yeah.
But if they do throw his way, he'll probably intercept it.
See, that's the thing is I feel like Ole Miss is going to throw to him because they're Ole Miss.
Yeah, that's true. They'll probably we got this. We got a guy. We like our matchup. Keith, give me a player to watch on the offense.
Got to go Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I want to see if he keeps riding the hot hand from last weekend. And, some of the offensive linemen are out. I think you're going to mention that. But I just want to see how he does against that Ole Miss defense.
Defensively, what you got?
Number 9, Marcel Brooks, true freshman. I think he stepped into the outside linebacker starting spot. I want to see how he does. And then gets pressure on Plumlee.
Yeah. And that's not the Duke Plumleys that were at Duke for like 15 years straight.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're related. It's very possible. Like I said, Austin Deculus, Sadiq Charles out.
Yep.
LSU's a little banged up coming after a game like that, but rightfully so. I mean, that was a war.
Physical. Yeah.
The offensive line is a unit, is my players to watch. I know that's cheating, but I do it every week. That's
fair.
Ole Miss is second in the SEC in sacks per game. They almost get about 3 a game. I think you can neutralize the pass rush with a run and quick throws like LSU does. So keep Joe Burrow healthy, keep him upright. I think we'll be fine. On defense, the front 7. Look, Ole Miss wants to run the ball. They don't want to pass it. They would just love to run it every play if they could. Stop the run.
Yeah.
If you stop the run, you'll be fine. You have better athletes. You're a better football team than they are. Like I said, we could talk Clyde Edwards-Helaire for like an hour or two. I've been praising that guy for weeks on this show, on the Sunday show.
He's my mama's favorite player.
Yeah, I slept on him, man. I feel bad.
There's a lot of people that did. Don't feel on. He's just been overlooked and underappreciated, given
Underrated, man.
given the, just phenomenal numbers Joe Burrow's putting up, rightfully so. But look, we're not in the position we are if Clyde Edwards-Helaire's not doing what he's doing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think that speaks volumes about the team. Just in general, this is a great team. This is a great team. You see it with the receivers. You see it with, the offensive line. They're gelling. You see it with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It's a new guy kind of stepping up each week. I mean, Thad Moss, Moss in the entire America. Like his dad was pumped on the Sunday Countdown show.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. So let's get into our game picks. Pretty good slate of college football this week, guys.
That's really good.
We've got the South's oldest rivalry. We've got the Gophers. Let's just get into it. It's going to be fun. Number 5, Alabama, coming off a devastating loss to the Tigers. They're going to go to Mississippi State. What is Tua a game-time decision? Because I saw that during the week.
I think so, yeah.
That's about right. Why did he play this week? Or last week?
Really? Yeah.
I honestly don't. I expect him to maybe play a quarter.
Yeah, I could see that too. Is getting limited minutes. We're going to pick the spread, though. Ole Miss is at home getting 18. Keith, does Alabama cover the spread?
I think they're mad. I think they're angry. I think they're motivated. I think they cover. Yeah.
Well, I'd be mad, too, if the only team I played all year I lost to. Courtney, what about you?
Barely.
Yep. I think Alabama probably wins this game by 20. I think still they've got better players. Indiana, this is a win that the game day crew called a quality opponent that Ohio State beat a couple weeks ago. They're going to Penn State. Penn State coming off the loss to the Gophers. Penn State's getting 14.5. Does Penn State cover this spread here?
Barely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so as well. I don't think Indiana's good, but apparently it's a quality win.
They're 25th, I think.
Number 11, Florida, is going to Missouri.
Why are we picking this?
Well, just
Oh,
because.
boy.
I mean, look, Missouri's getting 6.5 at home.
Okay, but if Missouri, if this was before Kentucky had beat Missouri, I would give them a little bit. But this is after Missouri has lost to Kentucky.
Look, y'all, I think we picked the Florida spread last week, and I thought we did. Well, they won like 52-0. So are y'all giving Missouri a shot here?
No,
Florida pretty big.
nothing.
Florida pretty big. Look, I'll go with Florida too. My goodness, this isn't fun. Okay, Wisconsin going on the road to Nebraska. Scott Frost's crew getting 14 at home. We're picking spread on this one too. What you got? Is Nebraska going to cover the spread?
Nebraska's just awful. I got Wisconsin 1-14.
Oof.
Courtney.
Yeah.
You got Wisconsin too. Okay, so I saw a tweet the other day, y'all. It was like the history of running back production the last, 7 years against Nebraska for Wisconsin. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's 200 yards. One game, Melvin Gordon had 400 yards in.
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
I remember watching that game. They ran for 600 in the game before that. Jonathan Taylor might run for 1,000 yards tomorrow.
Yeah, really.
I think Nebraska could keep it close. I think they're going to cover the spread, but I think Wisconsin wins. This is the first non-sellout Notre Dame in 273 games.
Yeah.
They're welcoming in the midshipman from Navy, getting 7.5. Does Notre Dame win the game, or does Navy come in and run the triple option and keep it close?
This could be a fun one to watch. I think it'll keep it close, but I think Notre Dame will pull it out.
I think Notre Dame pulls it out.
Yeah, real close, Notre Dame. Real close.
Yep, I think the under hits for sure because Navy's going to want to control the clock.
Yeah.
With that said, I think Notre Dame's going to win this game. Wake, who was Clemson's best opponent coming in, they lost last week.
Oh, boy.
Clemson's getting 34 at home against the Demon Deacons. Wake is now unranked. Does Clemson cover the spread, Courtney?
Yes.
Oh boy. Yeah, barely.
Okay, because this is a good Wake team. That's what they're telling us.
Yeah.
Okay. That's one Clemson's going to have to prepare for all week. Deep South's oldest rivalry.
Oh boy.
Here's the game.
I love this game.
Number 4 Georgia heading to Auburn. Auburn is a 2.5-point underdog in this game. Georgia's offensive line is really good. Auburn's defensive line, as we've seen, is awesome. Does Auburn pull the upset here?
I've got some faith in Auburn. I'm really excited for the Iron Bowl this year, and I think Auburn can really pull this one off to put them in a good position.
Yeah, one of my friends, we were talking Tuesday, there's a scenario that he mentioned that could get Auburn in the college football playoff. There's a lot that has to, if they went out and some things happen, they could absolutely get in. They have 2 losses. At LSU, at Florida. If they went out, that means they would have beaten Georgia. They would have beaten Bama. And their only loss would have been to Oregon, or they beat Oregon, who, if they win the Pac-12, they beat them. Now, like I said, a lot of things have to happen. But if they went out, there's a legit shot. I don't think they get in, but that's a scenario that could happen.
It's a good argument.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, they would have some really good wins. Now, their losses are really good.
Yeah.
I don't think it happens, but that was what was said. And I kind of thought about it. I was like, yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
I can see them winning out. I don't see them going to the playoffs.
They've got a better schedule than Clemson. Anyways, Keith, are you picking the Dogs or the Tigers?
Oh, I want to pick Auburn, but I just think Georgia's defense is too good. But it's going to be really close. I'll take the under for sure.
This game's going to be close. I mean, like I said, Auburn's getting 2.5. I like Auburn to win, man. I think their defense is good. I think Jake Fromm, this is going to be the best defense he's played so far this year.
Yeah.
And it's on the road. Courtney, Kentucky is going to Vandy.
Woo!
Vandy is getting 10 points at home. Vandy's bad.
Oh, God.
I can't figure Kentucky out considering we all picked them last week.
It doesn't matter.
I don't
Vandy's
wanna
horrible.
talk
And
about
they
it.
lost.
Like, Vandy's horrible, and there's a huge Kentucky alumni fan base in Nashville.
Yeah, there is.
All of Vanderbilt Stadium's going to be blue.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going with the Cats.
Okay.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's just horrible.
So bad.
Kentucky by a lot, I think.
Yeah, they
Cats by 90?
Yeah, Cats by 90.
Cats by 90. Look, they need to pick me up after losing to Evansville last week. I texted Courtney, "Are you good?" And she says, "Simply no."
Ouch.
Yeah,
Man.
just
That's
no.
uncalled for,
Simply no. I said, "But we beat Bama," and she simply said,
Yes.
yeah. So the Cats are young. Let Coach Cal just beat you over the head with their youth, just like everybody else in November. Minnesota, Iowa. Does Minnesota, after the big win, I was a 3-point favorite in this game. Nobody's riding with the Gophers. Let's
row the boat, baby. Minnesota.
There we go.
I got the
I'm
Gophers.
with the Gophers.
Gophers.
I'm going Gophers, too. No respect. Oklahoma, Baylor. What you got?
Oklahoma, big.
Yeah.
I'm
Baylor gets a reality check.
tempted. I'm a little bit tempted, but I'm going to go Oklahoma.
Yeah, if Baylor keeps this close, that'd be cool because I think they may play twice. South Carolina, A&M. Does A&M win this game?
Yeah, A&M. 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, A&M by a bit.
Yep. Okay, let's do some quick over-unders. Burrow, 3.5 touchdown passes, over-under.
4, over.
Under 3.
Yep, I like
fair.
I like the over. I'll go with 4. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I upped it a little bit. 100 rush yards, over-under.
Over.
Over. Yeah, over.
Yep. I
200.
like it. Chase, 80 receiving yards, over-under.
Over, easy.
Over.
You're like 120.
Oh, okay. I'll go higher next week. I should have went higher now. Over-under on the defense, 1.5 interceptions. They don't put the ball in the air, but if they get behind, they might have to.
I'll go under. I don't think it won.
I'll go over. 2 is more than 1.5.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right. I'm going
And
under.
that's math here at an SEC school.
Yep, defense, 1.5 sacks.
Oh, under just because Plumlee's so mobile.
Yep.
I'll just go over because I like chaos.
Yep, okay. And let's pick the score. I'm going under as well. Number 1 LSU. Ole Miss is getting 21 at home. What do you got?
45-20 LSU.
Yeah, I'm going to
They
go 51-21.
I like it, 30. I'm going to go 48-20 LSU. I think LSU is just so much better. They're going to cover. So, yeah, that's our show. Tune in Sunday evening for 6 for Out of Bounds. That will recap the Tigers. Hopefully they'll win and be one step closer to the SEC West Championship.
Yep.
Join us again next Friday, same time, same place. We'll be back in Death Valley, and we host the Razorbacks in the second to last game of the year.
Coachless Razorback.
Yes.
Nice.
For Courtney Brewer and Keith Bell, I'm Sean Larkins, and so long and go Tigers. This has been the KLSU Tailgate Show on 91.1 KLSU Baton Rouge.